Today we talk about the Dodgers' great start, Coachella delivering, and how nerdy we can get talking about our tabletop game experiences. Whether you are living your life on the edge of your seat indoors or going to a music festival, make sure you continue developing those core memories with those you love. Let us know your favorite board game at our Instagram or at our website, tiltednotstirred.com. I'll go first.
Hello, my name is Edwin.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Frantic.
And together we are Tilted Not Stirred. So what has you guys feeling tilted today, guys? What's going on? What have you guys been up to?
Oh, man, I've just been big chilling. Baseball season's full in effect, so I've been watching baseball.
How about them Dodgers, though?
Yup, 7-game win streak as of recording.
Sheesh.
They're playing right now, and they're down 3-0, but we'll see if we can make a comeback.
How about Freeman, though? Worth the money?
Looking nice. He hit his first home run yesterday, which was a Monday.
I was talking to my cousin about the Freeman deal and how good it's looking right now, and then he's just like, "Well, how about that Mookie Betts deal?" And I'm like, you know what? He brought a chip home, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, he already got us a ring, man.
Even if he has another like okay season, because comparatively to like his good seasons, right? So like right now he's not playing well, but dude, he already brought a chip.
Yeah, but he's slumping right now for sure. But he was injured like pretty much all of last year, so it's really unfair to compare those stats to his normal play.
Yep. But them Dodgers, it's looking like a good, promising season.
Yeah, it's really good, especially since our biggest question mark was the starting pitching, and that's been like the best in baseball, kind of. So like we're chilling.
Any thoughts on the pulling of Clayton Kershaw on his perfect game? Well, what could have been a perfect game?
I hate it. I hated it then, and I hate it now. But I totally understand it. But I don't like it.
Oh, that's it. I thought you were gonna pop off.
I mean, if you would have asked me the day of, yeah. But fuck, man. I get it. He was hurt. It's a shorter spring. Lockout. All of that. But man, it's like it's history, man. And they took it.
I was listening to some of those sports shows, the talk shows, right? And they were talking about baseball. They hardly ever talk about baseball, but they brought up the topic of baseball. And they were talking about how sports, yes, the teams want to win, but the whole purpose of sports is for entertainment. And that even though it's a sound decision to take out Kershaw because he was previously injured, so they're reducing his pitch count. But if he's in, at least get him in there for the next inning. And if let's say that, he gets the next 3 out like within a few pitches, then we'll keep this thing going. That sports are supposed to be about special moments, and that it kind of seems like we might have gotten robbed of one of those moments. Because how rare are perfect games?
Last one happened, I think, 2012. There's
what is a perfect game for the folks at home?
A perfect game is when a pitcher allows no hits, no walks, 27 hitters up, 27 hitters down.
Hasn't that only happened like 23 times? I think I read somewhere.
Yeah, it's in the 20s, and baseball's been around since the late 1800s.
Dude, I looked up how old the Chicago. Well, I looked up how old the Dodgers Stadium was, or like the Dodgers team rather, and then I had no idea that the Chicago Cubs have been around since 1876.
Yup.
That's insane. That's 100 years after the Declaration, by the way.
America's pastime, baby.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, enough baseball talk. It just depresses me.
Yeah. Let's see, what did I do? I spent most of my weekend with my girlfriend, which was really nice. We went to, let's see, what did we do? we went axe throwing, which is real
Oh.
nice. We also met up with I don't know if you guys like when you guys were kids back in the day when we were able to play outside on the streets with the kids, and that was a cool thing to do before like Game Boys and all that took over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we lived in Southridge, and there was all the kids, well, Southridge and Fontana, and we had a neighborhood of kids that we would all go outside and just play stuff or just hang out. And so I still somewhat keep in contact with them, which is kind of insane because a lot of these kids that used to be kids are like now adults, and they're like a lot of them are just tall or something. Some of them are they went completely off the rails in terms of like you were an innocent child the last time I remembered you, and now you're a go-go dancer. It's like, huh, okay, that's cool, man.
Alrighty then.
Yeah, that's quite the leap you did there. I hope. I wonder what influenced this decision, but good for you, man. And just stuff like that, But it was real cool axe throwing again. I don't know. Have you guys ever been?
Yeah.
No.
Dude,
It's
axe
pretty
throwing is
cool.
sick. It's sick. I don't know if it warrants I think it was like, how much was it? Was it $30 a person? $25 a person? I don't know. But to throw for an hour, it kind of is like, okay. But I mean, it seems like a good business to have.
I mean,
Charge people
it
to throw
awakens.
shit.
It awakens something inside you, for sure. Throwing a sharp object.
Yeah, they gave us not just axes, but they gave us like something that kind of looked like a kunai knife, like something a lumberjack ninja would throw. And then what else they give us? A shovel head. Yeah, it was real interesting. Real interesting. But yeah, that's basically it. There was no formula this weekend, so that was kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Overall, just a good weekend.
Right on, dude. I'm kind of paranoid still, after having, something that I've been doing in the past week is ruining our own podcast. And so I'm kind of paranoid about it right now. I'm looking at the volume levels go up and down. But I watched that movie. Fuck, I should have looked it up so I could actually read it. But it was like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that's what it's called.
Ooh, I'm actually real curious about that movie.
That movie's fucking phenomenal.
Oh, wow. So the
Yeah.
hype is real.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Can you repeat the title of the movie again?
No, I think I said it right the first time, and I think that's how it is.
Every time you say it, it
Yeah.
changes.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a good movie, for sure. I did that, and then also there's a series of video games that makes my inner teenage girl very happy. And it's Life is Strange, and I played the newest one. And yeah, man. Some good stuff out there. Yeah, I played the newest one. Yeah.
What are those
played
games about?
They're pretty much Telltale games, but full of fucking high school drama and emotions. And this one was pretty great. It's about a girl who could read people's emotions and how they're feeling, and change things around them to kind of alleviate those emotions, or even kind of affect how they're acting and stuff like that. I don't know. There's some good stuff. Definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna yuck your yum, dude. If that's what you're into, that's cool.
There's like a million of those games now. I think there's like 4 or 5,
Mhm.
and I've only played the first one and this last one, and they put you in control. Well, these two that I play put you in control of, like, the last one was a foster lady, a lady who just got out of the foster system and is gonna go meet up with her brother. And soon after, your brother gets fucking killed. And you're like, what the heck? And then you have to solve a crime based on reading people's emotions in the town about it. That's pretty good.
Wow. Does seem kind of interesting.
But yeah. That's pretty much what I did this past week, aside from working, you know?
Yeah,
But-
I guess none of us lived a very exciting weekend compared to all the folks that, and this is a segue to the news, festival season is now in full effect.
Festival season. I thought you were going to talk about Easter.
No,
This is
Easter
a
was...
wholesome Christian podcast, and we're not even
When-
going to talk about Easter.
When everybody remembers that suddenly they're religious.
No.
Hey, the Peeps are hype. I like Peeps.
I was never a fan of Peeps, yo.
Well,
I
what
think
I was
they're-
going to bring up...
They serve a purpose, you know, and they're tame candy, but when the going is rough and you just want something sugary, they do in a pinch. You know, there's
D-tier.
Peeps.
D-tier candy. Continue, Frantic.
There's Peeps milk actually. They sell you marshmallow flavored.
That
fucking
sounds
milk.
disgusting. Frantic, please continue.
Anyways, so the Revolve Festival and Coachella were this past weekend.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And so yeah, people got lit. People out there, not back to normal, I guess. COVID doesn't exist.
It never existed,
It
brother.
never existed. It was a hoax. That's what I heard. But yeah, so
So-
I don't know. Are you guys familiar with the Revolve Festival? I'll talk about that first.
No, I only
No.
ever heard of Coachella.
So the Revolve Festival is basically a mini festival for like it's more of like a party. It's an invitation only, so you can imagine like all the obnoxious influencers and celebrities that get invited to this thing. And it's supposed to be basically the weekend before Coachella. And it's not affiliated, by the way, so it's kind of like its own thing. And do you guys remember the Fire Festival?
Yeah, the giant scam.
Yeah, so the Revolve Festival was this year was getting comparisons to the Fire Festival because of like long wait times, and I guess these people are used to being treated special, and so they can't wait in the desert like everyone else, I guess. But anyways, that's not the important thing. The important thing here is that Coachella was popping. It seems I didn't go. I could have gone actually. Now that I remember. You guys remember that I used to work at music festivals, like serving food and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my boss for that hit me up. I'm just remembering right now, and I said, "Nah, maybe I should have taken him up on it because there was some pretty cool stuff. They had, I mean, for all those out there that love Harry Styles, I heard he had a great performance. Doja Cat would have been really cool to see. Billie Eilish apparently had the dude from Gorillaz come out and sing "Feel Good."
Oh, I now have to fucking watch. Oh my, fuck you, Frantic. Why'd you do this?
And
So here's the thing. I spend a lot of time out where Coachella's at, where they throw the festival.
Indio. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But fuck nowhere. But yeah.
I spend a lot of time out there. And I went over there, and sure enough, I just saw a bunch of naked ass people on the streets, all this stuff, right? And it's funny because I follow, I guess I'll come out and say it. I'll follow Pokimane on Instagram.
What?
Yeah. I'm not
You're
a tier 3 sub.
degenerate.
Not a tier 3 sub, but I do follow her on Instagram.
You're just a lurker.
And she posted a picture of like the place she was staying at for like Coachella, right? And
Uh-huh.
it's right down the block from where I was. I was like, "Oh, cool. I know that place."
Wow, she
and-
actually gave out that information?
No, she just posted a picture of like a house,
Oh,
and
okay. And you recognize the house, I guess?
yeah, because I pass by that house all the time. And I was like, oh,
I
cool,
don't
I
know, it's giving me
recognize.
stalker vibes.
Yeah, man.
I don't
You
know.
said you weren't a tier 3 sub, but I'm not believing it.
Hey, man. Hey, and then I don't know. I was like looking at Billie Eilish's story on her Instagram, and she's like driving by, and like there was dust storm out there, and it was just like, oh yeah, I'm here. I know exactly what is happening out there.
Yep,
I don't know. It felt really weird to just be in the same area as a bunch of fucking people.
You were there, but you weren't there.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, I've been in the same
a
building
lot
as,
less cool, but yeah.
as Mila, as Kutcher, as Dre, you know, Snoop Dogg.
Dude, you hung out in the boxes
Oh, at
that
the
they hang
stadium?
out on.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hung out in the boxes they hung out on. Yeah, so
True. But yeah, so Coachella was apparently pretty dope. I was trying to look up any kind of negative stuff, and for the most part, it was mostly just people not knowing whether or not to be concerned about another super spreader event, and I don't know. I guess that's it. There was nothing bad. Everyone loved it.
hooray.
So good shit for all those who got tickets to Coachella. I think they were like 500 or some shit like that. I don't know. They were hella expensive. I wasn't gonna do
Yeah.
it.
Fuck
But
that noise.
it was definitely a treat for everybody who went out there. And that's basically all I gotta say about that. You said that there was naked people in that area,
Yeah.
practically naked. How do you feel about the fashion for these festivals nowadays?
I mean, to each their own. I don't know how I would fare in these situations, so I don't know. It's to each their own, honestly. Las Vegas is the same way, you know. Clothing is optional when you're in Vegas.
That is true, man. That is true. It's definitely super awkward when you're just like, you know, walking the street, minding your own business. You're with your lady, cool beans, and then some random chick with pasties walks down the street, and you're just like, oh god, look away. Oh, look at the Eiffel Tower. Paris is so nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's just Vegas is wild. I went to the rave. The girls there were wild. The men too. They were out there, thirst trapping it up. But yeah, Coachella's no different. I went. When did I go? Was it 2019 or 20? Yeah, I guess it was 2019 when I went.
You popped the 500 hots for that?
Nah, dude, I went for work. I got paid to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And yeah, it's crazy. I didn't want to go back this year because I was not about to stand in the desert sun with because I was there for like the sandstorms and like all that bullshit and camping out there during no, there was no way I would do that again. But yeah, I mean, these events are so big. You can imagine like the logistics of it all and trying to get all these amount of people into the venue, and it's absolutely nuts. If you've never been to a massive music festival like this, then I would recommend going once just so that you can never do it again.
I mean, Coachella has such a diverse cast of artists playing, so it's definitely something that is worth checking out. You know, whenever
unless your absolute favorite artist is performing, I would say go once and then never go again because it's miserable.
Were you on drugs?
No, I was not.
He was working, bro. Damn.
He should have been on drugs. He should have been on drugs.
It's called professionalism.
I mean, I prefer being indoors now, but even back then when I was like the ultimate like concert goer and just always trying to do shit, like I truly met my match when it came down to Coachella. I was like, dude, when do I ever get to like be clean? That's like a major thing because it's just like as soon as you step outside, it's like, well, there's the dirt in the air. There's everything, right? The sweat from the sun. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Speaking about being clean, being clean, the great indoors, and sweat. You guys want to talk about our topic this week?
The topic? Wait. How do all those
Yeah.
things connect?
It was
Tape-
almost a good transition, man. But then you kind of
Fuck, I should. Yeah. Anyways, tabletop experiences. You want to talk about our board game / card game experiences, D&D experiences? You know, we got the great indoors, we got sweat,
Well,
and we got. What's up?
I do enjoy being indoors.
indoors is life, man. It's love. It's 4 walls, and you're nice and cozy with the AC on.
I mean, if we really, really think about it, it all really boils down to the fact that we became friends over a tabletop. In this case, it was Jeff's pool table. But yeah, when our buddy David told us, "Yo, let's go play some Magic at the homie Jeff's house," and it's just like, all right, well, let's go, let's do it, and that's where it all started. Playing Magic: The Gathering.
Oh yeah.
Kind of feels like saying Voldemort.
I mean, we've also played Dungeons and Dragons.
But that's like way later down the line, you know.
I'm just saying, if he's saying Magic: The Gathering is nerd, I'd say D&D is even nerdy.
Oh yeah, we've done all the nerdiest stuff. I think
at
the
this
only
point-
thing, there's only one game that we haven't played, and that would ultimately would solidify. If we weren't considered nerds already, there's one game. Can you guys think of which one it is?
What, World of Warcraft?
Well,
I
I was
would
thinking
say-
more tabletop, but yeah, that
Oh.
too.
I would say LARPing.
Not tabletop, but close.
What's up?
Warhammer.
Oh, Warhammer. Oh, hell no.
So there's this game, ladies and gentlemen, where that adults, right? They gather around a table and they have like their little castles and their little like buildings and shrubbery, cool beans. They have little figurines, and basically every single one of these figurines has their own like abilities and movement and etc. Health, cool beans. So they're literally
You forgot-
walking around this table with like a tape measure, like hoisted
Strapped to their belt.
strapped to their belt. Walking around measuring shit like, okay, cool, my character can move there. I'll attack this guy. And then they're like rolling die. It's like the ultimate nerd shit. And I remember,
You forgot that all these figurines are hand painted.
yeah, well, I mean, we could go into depth about everything and how big the rule book is, and absolute insanity what people can get into when it comes to like tabletop games and the depth. Because a lot of people might just think, oh, like a Monopoly, right? Or like the game Sorry, or even simpler games like Uno.
Like Chutes and Ladders.
Yeah, like these games, even though they are simple, there's a lot of strategies behind them. But if you start getting into like the real like enthusiast board game stuff, gee willikers.
Suddenly there's less time for showers. You know?
Yeah.
You just
Hey,
eat-
man, even at peak degeneracy, I was still taking a daily shower, so I resent that.
No, I'm just
I don't know,
saying.
it's
you
just
know?
it feels like there's some of these board games are so complicated. Like if you have to read the manual like beforehand just to like try to understand how to play this game, that's kind of where I draw the line. If I can't learn it in one sitting, it kind of feels like it's too much.
Hey, man, we all learned Gloomhaven together. I feel
I
like
mean, that
that's
was very
complicated.
borderline, but that was only because we're playing it on Tabletop Simulator and it set up the entire thing for us.
That's true.
If it
Yeah.
didn't set it up, that's
That-
ridiculous.
that would be a bitch and a half to put together just so you can play.
So Gloomhaven is like $100 board game, basically.
$200 board game, right?
Well, I guess it really depends on what edition you get, but yeah, it's like 100, 120. I think I remember seeing it last, and it's like a
D&D
RPG.
light.
Yeah, it's like an RPG game where your character, whatever you do in your first session, it'll progress into your next session, and then it's just like a big box that do not open until you reach this and this condition and stuff like that. So
It's an evolving game,
yeah,
so as you play it, you unlock more of the board game, which is kind of a fucking neat thing. But
there's a novelty for like a novelty that comes with that kind of thing. Sure, definitely not everyone's cup of tea though, because a lot of people just want to get like the simpler games, like I mentioned earlier, just get it over and done with, and that's it. Sometimes it's like people don't want to think; they just want to like do.
But a board game that kind of would bring you like in college, I remember people throwing parties and playing Catan, Settlers of Catan, in their
Wow,
dorms.
those are
and
some
stuff.
raging parties, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, people would throw parties and fucking drink and play Settlers of Catan. That was I guess that was adjacent people that I hung out with. But even
You're so
like
cool, Edwin. I
even
wish
in,
I got invited to those
dude,
parties.
even in other colleges, people are doing this. So not just when I went to, people would throw
Bro,
parties for Catan. That was
I
wild.
used to think Catan was some like overly complicated, super nerdy board game. And
It's
when we
easy.
sat down and played, yeah, it's super casual and easy to pick up, and I was very disappointed.
Super casual.
It's a
You're throwing that
classic.
word around. You're throwing
It's
that
a
word around.
classic.
It is, yeah, it's casual.
It's like chess. It's a simple game, but it's
Oh,
a
man.
classic. It's not
It's
simple at
nothing
all.
like chess.
You gatekeeping tabletop, bro?
I'm just saying, it's like, it's no Gloomhaven, is what I'm saying. I'm just saying.
Not everything has to be overly complicated, man. Sometimes it's fun to just play.
I hate any random based game. We've talked about this in great lengths. The odds are never in my favor. Lady Luck hates me.
You're just being results oriented, man.
From
it's
a
the
very
same.
large
It's
sample size.
It's the same probability for everyone.
You would think that. I can flip a coin 100 times right now, and I would get it wrong 80% of the time.
That's not how that
Yeah.
works.
You think that. You think that. But I shit you not.
If you just keep saying tails, it's gonna happen, dude.
You would think. I've done this before, man. I've flipped a coin 10 times and been like tails, 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 and it's only come up like twice or once.
All right, how about we go through introduction board games that we all like that we're fan of, right? So, would you guys consider Risk an introduction board game, an intro, one of those basic ones?
No.
No? Fuck.
I'd say Monopoly or Life.
Monopoly has to be probably one of the classics.
But
that
I don't think
everyone
it's an intro. Motherfuckers don't play that shit right ever.
That's why.
But everyone's
It's an
heard about
intro.
it, and everyone knows the basic rules. You roll the dice, you move your car.
Everyone's heard of Risk. I think Risk is up there as one of those intro.
I think
to
if
board
you're
game.
if you're saying that like if you're asking about the intro, how much more intro can it be than grabbing a board game and not even following the rules? That's like
I would
board
still say
game
that's
novice.
Monopoly.
That's novice stuff. And only novice people are like really into the intro stuff.
Dude,
I think
are we
Monopoly
just
is-
gatekeeping? I thought we were just gonna be a lighthearted conversation about board games and you just calling
Bro,
people
I
names
only
now?
ever played Monopoly the correct way as an adult. As a child, I never played it correctly. It's so funny.
I mean, I don't think anybody plays anything correctly as a child unless you're playing Shoots and Ladders, which is literally rolling a dice and going up a ladder or down a fucking snake.
There's too many memories of Monopoly, and just it's kind of like Mario Kart. If you want an activity that'll like scar your relationship, look no further than Mario Kart, Mario Party, or Monopoly.
You know, and because my girlfriend's such a big fan of this, I'm gonna throw it out too. Overcooked.
Overcooked is just funny, dude. It's just a fun game.
No, it's not fun.
It's fun to be toxic, Edwin. Have you tried to be toxic before?
It's a
It's
lot of
pretty
fun.
fun. It's really
No.
fun to be toxic.
No, man, that shit is rough. It's so
Some of my great enjoyments in tabletop experiences were playing Magic Arena with David, and we just shit on the opponent the entire time. It's
dude,
so
you
hilarious.
would laugh at least David would laugh at people for being poor. They'll play the first card and he'll realize that. So okay, in order to explain this correctly, some shit that never jived with me is you're playing a Magic the Gathering game, and you pretty much build a deck that a pro has built, and you play it the same way the pro built it. And
It's called net decking, Edwin.
dude, that shit pisses me off. That's what that does. That shit gets me tilted. If you're gonna play a game and have somebody else tell you how to play it, and you played it according like that, you're not really playing it.
What do you mean, dude?
I feel like people play games to have fun, and a lot of people have fun when they win.
yeah.
But
What's wrong with that?
but playing something because someone told you how to play it is fucking stupid.
No, so with Magic, it's different. Learning how to play a deck and actually playing the deck are two completely different things. You are never going to be in the exact same scenario as the person you're watching or learning from. Because Magic is that dynamic.
Well, anyways, where was I getting at? I was getting at you guys saw the introduction, like the very first move your opponent would do, and saw that the card was one of those cards that if you didn't put any money into your deck, you would be playing it and automatically start laughing.
Yeah, because it's funny. It's funny to be toxic. It's fun.
Come on, man. Let these people have fun.
I mean, they don't know we're laughing at them. How does that affect his fun?
Sometimes you just gotta play your own game, man.
Yeah.
And if that's how you have fun, it's kind of like I'm gonna bring back Monopoly. Like the betrayal of like, hey, I want to buy this tile from you. I'll give you this much for it. And the entire game they're reluctant, and then they just end up giving it away to someone because I'm about to lose anyway. Here you go, man. And then it's just like, what? It's things like that it may not seem toxic, but it's like a kind of a little mischievous, that little side of you that wants to just brew up a little bit of chaos. And just like, I know you've been begging for this the entire game, but you know what? I'm going to give it to this person in for free.
And Edwin, don't act like you're some saint here. Every time we play poker, you get bored halfway through and just go, "Oh, I'm going all in. Oh, I'm not going to look at my cards.
Yeah, well,
Edwin,
I'm not going to look
thing.
at my cards."
I will admit.
do not
I will
play
admit,
poker with Edwin.
I
Do
will
not play
admit-
poker with Edwin.
Here, let me say my piece here. Right? I will admit that I am the first of all our friends to get bored of something. All right? When we're playing anything, whether it be Dungeons and Dragons, whether it be any board game, anything, sure, I get bored. Sure, I no longer want to play. Right? And I don't know, I like variety, but when we discover something, we beat the dead horse until it's dead. So, would you guys give me that concession or not?
Bro, it's not like we play poker every night. It's a couple of times
not
that we
even
played
poker.
it.
When we
so
played poker,
Edwin is like, the dealer passes out the cards. Edwin doesn't even look at his cards, and he's just raising. And we're like, bro, you don't even know what you have.
dude,
And
that
you're
was like
just
an hour 3 or 4 of fucking playing poker all day. And I would get tired of it.
No.
Nah, man. This would be like an hour in.
Sure. I guess we'll give you an hour.
Dude, I still have not gambled at a casino. Like, speaking of poker, still I'll refuse.
I went once. Were you there, Edwin? Who did we go with?
I don't think I did.
I know it was me, Raul, Edward. I think Alex was there, maybe. I don't know. I sat down and played like 3 hands of blackjack. Lost, split, lost. And I was like, well, that happened.
And how would you describe your experience? Would you gamble again?
Yeah, why not? I'd want to do roulette or craps.
Craps? I don't even
Yeah,
know how to play that.
Me neither, but everyone seems to enjoy it. That's always the hype table.
Isn't that
Yeah,
like the long table and you throw dice?
And you say
Yeah.
snake
You-
eyes, snake
you put-
eyes.
Aren't you? So you put a bet on a number, or what do you do?
I think you're basically betting because so one guy's like throwing the dice and people bet on his roll.
That's wild.
And you get like it's like a community game, right? Because everyone bets with him. So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna throw a 7," and everyone's like, "All right, he's throwing a 7. Let's all bet on 7." And everyone's like, "Hell yeah!" You know, everyone gets hyped on that guy. And then there's always this one guy that comes in like, "Oh well, he's not gonna throw a 7," and then you bag on that guy for killing the vibe.
But
Interesting.
what if? It's
Yeah.
it's a
Because he's
huge-
out here, he's out here griefing.
Hey,
It's
I'm glad that you know the culture behind crabs and you haven't played it yet.
It's
Mhm.
a fucking circle jerk, and then some guy's like, "Nah, dude, you're not gonna do it," and everybody beats on that guy.
Because because since everyone's betting together, you're not just betting against the guy, you're betting against the whole table.
But I mean, okay, so if everyone's all happy and shit, wouldn't it be wise to split up? If everyone's
Nah,
gonna,
man. I don't
Nah.
know. I don't know the rules of craps. I just know that people bet together and it's like it's hype and it's a community game.
all right, let's talk about some crazy shit that we used to do when we used to play Magic the Gathering. Okay, so Magic the Gathering would come up in editions, right? We'll call them editions. They'll come out.
It's a
And-
set. Edwin.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, editions are a lot easier to kind of. All right, they come out in sets or editions, right? And a whole new set of cards were released all at once. And let's talk about some crazy shit we used to do. We used to go to these things called pre-releases. So before the whole set would launch, you would go to a comic book shop or a trading card shop and buy a little booster set, which is like packets of those cards that
It's 6 packs of cards.
yeah, 6 packs of cards. You'll open them up and you build a deck and play with them at fucking midnight.
What's
Damn.
wrong with that?
It
I had
started
no idea
at-
that this podcast would be about like just
Attacking our personal hobbies.
Yeah. Us just
I'm not
turning ourselves in.
What do you mean?
I had a reputation to uphold, and now it's just like, dude, this guy's a loser. He would go to pre-release events and play from midnight till like 5 and 6 in the morning.
Frantic.
Who knows?
You haven't accepted who you are?
No, bro. I'm like a snake. I'm shedding that shit.
Nah.
You were there for the last one we went to, right? Wait, were you?
No, I didn't go.
Oh, you weren't.
That was a
I-
no for
yeah.
me, dog.
Frantic and I quit.
Yeah, I
No,
quit.
Edwin, you were there, so shut up.
I wasn't there for the very last one. I really wasn't.
That one doesn't count because we did that one at my house. That was a take-home one, and we did that like at 3 in the afternoon.
No, I didn't go though.
This wasn't a peak degeneracy midnight one.
Yeah, I didn't go to the last peak degeneracy
Yes, you
midnight.
did.
I was at work. I would work
No.
late night shifts. Yes, I did.
You went to
You
work
were
and then you
there.
went. No, I'm just
We
kidding.
literally had this conversation yesterday, and you were there.
I didn't go. But anyways,
Yes, it was the one in Riverside.
I didn't go.
Edwin, we literally talked about this yesterday, and you said you were there.
I wasn't there.
Edwin, the first step is admitting.
The first step is admitting.
Dude,
we were there.
I know who I am. I know
The
that
homies
I
were
played...
blasted. We went to Norm's afterward.
You're definitely there.
We literally had this conversation yesterday, and Edwin was like, "Oh yeah, I was there."
I went to Norm's, but I don't know how many times Norm's happened after fucking pre-releases. Because I know that Norm's was a place we liked going after pre-releases. I didn't go to the last one though.
This was a while ago, and I could tell you that you were there
Okay, well I was apparently there.
because we literally had this conversation yesterday, and you told me you were there.
Damn, calling you
Maybe.
out.
Well, I'm not acting brand new here. Like I honestly,
I don't know. I'm
wasn't
just
there.
saying, if you're gonna put Frantic out there as a nerd, and you don't want to accept your own nerdiness,
Dude,
the first step is admittance.
I'm the one that I called Frantic out. You haven't admitted who you are because I've admitted who I am. I'm a fucking nerd. But anyways,
Fuck this shit. I'm gonna go to Coachella next year. I need to shed this shit off. Next year, I need to be talking about how I did that shit. I was there and I was vibing to the music and yeah.
He did all the
Yeah.
drugs. Yeah, right on, dude.
So where was this going, Edwin?
Where was I going before I was rudely interrupted with my presence being at this event? Where was I going? Oh yeah, so you'd go show up, right? Everybody gets their packs at like midnight. Everybody then builds a deck, plays how many rounds? 4 or 5 rounds of Magic,
Yeah, it depends on how many people were there.
and you'd get out around 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning. Right?
5 a.m. sometimes.
Yeah. And we did this a lot.
We did that.
we
Hey, not a lot. It was
A lot?
It was
Hold
what?
on,
It was like 3 times a year.
Actually, we did it 5 times. I did it 5 times. I
Total.
can count them. Total, yeah.
Yeah. See, not that many.
Yeah.
I
it
mean,
was,
wouldn't you say that more than twice is a lot?
No.
More than twice is a couple.
I mean, more than twice is a couple is 2.
Exactly.
So, we did this a handful of times. How about that? It's a lot
It
better.
is 5 times. That'd be a handful.
Yeah. So yeah, we played TCG, and during this point in my life, right, we played Magic the Gathering. Right, we did that. I said TCG because I was reading it.
Short for trading card game.
Yeah, we played trading card games, Magic mostly, right? And during this point in my life, I said, if I ever played Dungeons and Dragons, I would hate myself. There's no coming back from ever playing Dungeons and Dragons. You guys want to take that away? You guys want to take it and run with that?
And then we played Dungeons and Dragons.
And Edwin's first character was the little shithead.
Edwin was also griefing in Dungeons and Dragons, ladies and gentlemen.
Edwin saying he's not toxic, and his first character in Dungeons and Dragons was a little guy by the name of Poppycock.
He was pretty awesome. He did.
He spoke in a high-pitched voice and sung Wonderwall every chance he got.
Yeah, it was pretty great. And honestly, Poppycock did some of the most remarkable things in that campaign all by himself.
His character trait would be to write a song of someone else's actions and then take credit for it.
What do you fucking mean?
It was pretty funny.
There was a statue of Poppycock involved at some point. It was pretty great.
It wasn't you. But Poppycock believes it was him. Which is good character. That's good character.
That's a good character. It's yeah. It's like the comedic relief to a story. It was good.
Yeah. But you guys want to talk about some Dungeons and Dragons? Your experiences?
Yeah. So to our credit, we never actually finished the campaign. We got like 10 sessions into our first DM, and then we had a switch, and we did maybe another 5 sessions, and then that campaign died. And then I ran a campaign for like 5 sessions that died. Edwin ran a campaign for 2 sessions that died. And then our newest one was actually going
that
pretty
Mafia
strong.
one was kind of cool. Not gonna lie, Edwin's campaign of the Mafia.
I lost the plot like halfway through, and I was just like, I'm gonna let them run with it, and whatever happens, I'm gonna try to figure this shit out.
It was weird because we got to a point where it felt like we needed a rush to do something, but we weren't rushing at all.
That's because
it was great. I lit a what was it? A car wash place on fire?
Okay, so all right, what was it? It was my campaign was about mafiosos, right? And it was somebody had just gotten out of prison, right? And they met up with this guy I used to describe by overly sexualizing him. I forgot his fucking name, but that guy was everyone's best friend.
Probably Tony.
And then we got him killed.
And then Tony died.
Yeah, because we got him killed.
Yeah, then
was
Tony
pretty
died, and then you had to solve the mystery of how or who killed Tony, right?
No, so they killed the Don's wife, and that's the mystery we had to solve.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Which to
Don,
me
the
didn't
Don
make any
was
sense.
the Don was putting it on us unless we figured out who did it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was an inside job. That's what my
Yeah,
character was getting.
In the end, it was the right hand man, but we had no way of proving it was him.
Yeah, it was
But
some
yeah.
good stuff, some really fun stuff, and we were all we all devolved and used the same accent by the end of it. Everyone was talking the same way.
Here.
I'm walking here.
I ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, that was my character.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It definitely sounds cooler than what it actually was.
Dude,
And I think that's one of the beauties of Dungeons and Dragons is that maybe during the gameplay of like everyone kind of trying to figure out what to do and like because it's all make believe. So for those who don't know, Dungeons and Dragons, it's like think back when you were children and you're like play fighting with your sibling or with the neighborhood kids, and you're saying that you're Superman and they're saying that they're Batman or whatever it is, and then they're like pew pew shooting each other with like fake guns or lasers out of their eyes, whatever. Basically, Dungeons and Dragons is a way for you to actually resolve like things that are coming out of your imagination. So okay, I'll punch you. I'm Superman and I'll punch you. And then Dungeons and Dragons will give you a way of like calculating how much damage you actually did to Batman or if they shoot you with the gun, etc. So that's basically what Dungeons and Dragons is. It's like playing make believe, but you have some rules to kind of be able to resolve shit without it becoming a match of like, no, I hit you first. No, I hit you first. Like,
Nah,
you know.
it was always a shit kid that I dodged it. I
I
dodged
it.
I
No,
dodged
you didn't
it.
hit me. You didn't hit me? No. Yeah.
I mean, Dungeons and Dragons is cool in that sense. You just have to have open-minded people who won't get embarrassed that, role playing
Yeah, you gotta pretend. You gotta really get into the role play.
because
So
if as soon as one person's not into it, it's just throws
kills
the
the
whole
vibe.
it throws the whole dynamic off. Go ahead, Jeff.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's why I want to get into our latest campaign that didn't follow through. With that one, we got pretty deep into it actually, and so a big part of Dungeons and Dragons is combat, right? For those who don't know, combat's a very big part of D&D. It's how you resolve conflicts, right? As a group, we actively try to avoid it, which is what made our group pretty good. Instead of getting into every fight we could, we tried to talk our way out of every situation, which made for some pretty hilarious situations. Like me accidentally killing the mayor.
That was the greatest the great escape, getting away with murder.
That was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie. That's peak D&D for me.
Yeah.
So-
Basically, we were kind of like between a rock and a hard place, and turns out the mayor of this town was like kind of a dick, and so we all kind of wanted to kill him, but we also knew that wasn't the way to go. And he punches Jeff, and then Jeff reacts with like a flame spell.
Yeah.
And we had no idea that the mayor was this weak. He basically just died on the spot. And we're just like, oh shit, we got to get out of town. That
So
was
yeah.
great.
So after I charred him to the point where you couldn't recognize who he was, so then I disguised myself to look like the mayor, and basically pretended to be him as the scenario unfolded until I can sneak out of the house and run my way back to the group.
What
10
was
out
your
of 10.
favorite character that you played?
My first one
Would you describe?
before I got nerfed.
Yeah, would you describe him a little bit?
So my first guy was I was a dark elf, and the whole point of the character was to be the biggest piece of shit that I could be. To where if I saw anything precious, I would just want to automatically steal it. So in combat, my biggest priority was to rob whatever wasn't bolted to the ground.
What about you,
And-
Frank?
Very helpful, by the way.
Yeah, you guys complained about it, so I had to change the character. Made me sad.
What about you, Fennec? What's your favorite character you played in D&D?
I don't know which one's my favorite character. Maybe I know I had a lot of fun with the Mafia one. My name was the Mooch. And after everything like, it didn't matter the dialogue. I would just pucker my lips at the end, and that's why they called me the Mooch.
You had a cool picture of the mooch.
Well, I was Scaramucci.
Yeah, that was his Discord picture for a while.
Yeah, for those who don't know, he used to be the speaker of the press secretary.
Yeah.
What are they called? The mouthpiece of the president
Yeah.
Anyways, he had a very brief stint. It was a political meme, and so I'm like, yes, he is my character.
My favorite
You know what?
character was the cleric. The cleric
that-
that was blinded by his religion of worshiping the sun god. And
Oh yeah.
yeah. And he stumbled upon a village full of sick people and healed them all through the power of fire.
He burned them all.
That was pretty good. I
So
like
your
that.
character was so religious that he would actually commit violent acts.
Not violent. In his eyes, he was freeing everybody's soul and just being a good guy.
In his eyes.
In his eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, and it started with a child too. Burn the shit out of the child.
Oh, kind of like the Catholic Church.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Social commentary, if you will.
Oh, dude, our first campaign was so stupid. By the end, I became a fight promoter for one of our group members, and I was setting up a pay-per-view event for him to fight a noble in the city.
And he got to.
Yeah.
Did he get his head torn off?
No, we never got to that point. That's when we
Oh,
stopped
okay.
playing. We never got to the fight.
The funny thing was that this wasn't.
It was Vince's character.
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
the whole point of that campaign? What were we supposed to do?
We were supposed to stop a cult from resurrecting the dragon god.
And instead, we got sidetracked and we started a fight club.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. We started Fight Club.
So yeah, I mean
I
that's
don't know,
that's the
dude.
beauty.
Yeah,
That's
it
the
gets,
beauty
like,
of Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, that was the point that I was making earlier. Like, maybe during the gameplay, like it could lead to a lot of really funny interactions, but it's when you talk about it like much later, when you think back, and like for all those folks at home listening to us, we probably sound crazy that
Yeah.
this imaginary land that we were saying that we were a part of. It's not even half of it. Like, it's a
Yeah,
lot of things. A lot of core memories happened during those D&D sessions.
We all went through quests that kind of don't like in real life. We never did them, right? But we all share the memory of doing these quests, which is kind of
It's
cool.
neat.
It's kind of fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, dude. Like when we all went into our first dungeon was crazy. You know, we got into a dungeon. We found some hashlings. I kicked Edwin's character down a hole. It was great.
Maybe we should get back into it.
No, no,
We should.
no.
We
I'm not
should.
ready for that time commitment, man.
Who was
But-
in our campaign? This last one with
It was-
the vampires and stuff.
Us three and Alex.
Oh, well, that's gonna be tough.
Let's see. What else can we talk about? You guys want to talk about like customized equipment and the money pits that is having a board game or trading card hobby?
Do you guys have the number?
No,
You
we
guys
don't talk
spent
about how
total?
much. No, we don't
No?
talk about that. We don't talk about how much we
Alright.
spent.
That's fair. That's fair.
Frantic has to come nip that in the butt real
yeah.
quick.
No, we don't go
All
there.
right, let's pivot. So, what's the worst story you guys had in one of these trading card game stores?
I don't know. I actually hated the people.
Same.
I fucking hated everyone. I was just like, I'm not like you guys. You guys are all fucking disgusting. And yeah, I don't know. It was just
It was definitely more fun playing just us, but just us wasn't enough people. And so we felt like we needed to go to the trading card store to play against others.
but those others didn't have the greatest of hygiene. The whole fucking store would smell like shit, you know? It was just having some greasy ass dude touch your cards. Cause he has to count some shit or reshuffle your deck and you're like, God damn it.
Dude, so there was one guy, right? He's a big dude. He comes in, puts his playmat down, which it's for those who don't know, it's like a piece of faux that you put on top of the table to protect your cards.
It's like a giant mouse pad.
Yeah. He lays out like 20 trinkets on the side of his mouse pad, pulls out his deck, starts shuffling it, grabs my deck, starts shuffling it, and while he's shuffling it, he's counting the cards in my deck. And then he puts it down and goes, "There's only 59 cards here." And I'm like, "What? There's only 59 cards here." And I'm like, okay. So I grab my cards. So we have two decks, right? The main deck and the side deck. I counted that. There's only 15. And I'm like, "Hey, man, they're there." And he's like, "There's only 59 cards here." So I grabbed my deck and there was like two stuck together. And I'm like, "Here." And he's like, "Okay, we're good."
What were they stuck together with, dude?
I don't know, sweat.
Come.
Some cum?
Some cum.
Dude, that right there exemplifies just how like degenerate this kind of shit is. Like a guy literally counting your deck and making sure you're not cheating.
Yeah. At flipping out over one card discrepancy.
Yeah. Gotta love it. It's not really with like a specific person, more of a store. Like we used to go to the Mon store, and then when that shop moved into the bigger location, it was like, oh cool, I guess things are going great for the Mon store in Montclair, California. And then they up and left. And I didn't personally lose anything because I had no store credit there. I had no like emotional attachment to this store. Like it was just a whatever store that a lot of sweaty people went to go play cards. My biggest thing was that they just up and left with like no announcement, no anything. People who had sold their cards to the store and had store credit in their system, they just got shafted.
So did you
just
never hear
left.
the story?
What was the story?
So apparently when they bought the building, there was already some like leaking issues that they never really bothered to fix. So one day the roof kind of just collapsed on itself.
Yikes.
And they did the math and it would cost them more to repair it. And plus the whole store credit, they were in more debt, so it was just more profitable to just cut their losses and end it there.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, it totally makes sense if you're a business owner, for sure. But, like, a lot of people got kind of screwed over.
I mean, to be fair, a majority of that store credit was gotten from people winning a free tournament in
Yeah, not everyone,
in the
though.
store. Yeah.
So, like, I'm not going to defend them either.
You know, I've always, I don't know, when we played Magic, I was always a lot more intrigued by the accessories and stuff that came with the game, right? So buying die, I actually bought some like I call them rainbow sherbet colored die from the Mon store, and I still have them to this day. They're pretty cool. Just a set of random die. I like them. Pretty neat. Some good stuff. I don't know where I was
Yeah.
going with this story.
That you have the uncontrollable urge to display yourself to the world.
To successorize, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Display myself to the world. Only in my Dungeons and Dragons characters, you know. Speaking of which, would you guys ever consider going to a Renaissance fair?
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
Wouldn't that be
I wouldn't dress
fucking-
up.
I know, but
I'd
wouldn't it
down
be
for
fucking amazing?
I would want to go like as a kind of like the game Chivalry 2. Remember, Ed, when we played?
Yeah.
Like a medieval times. Imagine Call of Duty, but with swords instead. And yeah, I would just go as like a shitty squire or something.
That video game that we played, Chivalry 2, had one of my favorite lines in a video game. You're in a constant war with the opposite team, and one of the things your character screams is, "For that guy we like," in a really shitty voice. And I fucking like that. That game is great. But I don't know, tabletop has shaped a lot of our friendship, you know? And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that we all kind of have something, you know, to hang out, fall back on. We started this conversation because we have been playing a lot of Tabletop Simulator, which is a program or a game online that you can just simulate any tabletop game, right? You can play Monopoly on there, and all you do is get on Discord with the boys and just hang out in a cyberspace and play a game. It's pretty cool.
Tabletop has been a true revelation because just to speak a little bit about it and then we can close out. Tabletop Simulator is a game where there's simulated board games that the community have created, and even like the developers of Tabletop Simulator will come out with their own games or whatever, but for the most part it's just people coding their own or like a version of a real game within Tabletop Simulator, and it's absolutely fascinating the amount of time and effort that some of these simulations have, because you literally at the click of a button it sets up the entire game for you. It's good stuff.
Yeah, we've been trying a lot of different games that are strategy based, and they've been pretty cool. Seven Wonders, Everdell. We played Catan there for the first time. Some good stuff. There's some really good stuff out there. It goes on sale pretty cheap if you guys have a computer.
Yep. Or if you guys want to play any board games with us, let us know. Let us know. We'll be down.
Oh, heck yeah.
Hit us up on
our Instagram or our YouTube.
Yeah, our DM.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we'll end it there. You guys got any closing thoughts?
The Dodgers lost.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I like shinies.
Not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Great. Phenomenal. This podcast has shown me that I need to do more cool things because I need to get my rep back up.
Dude, who are you keeping? Who are you keeping appearances for?
Everyone.
Were you literally called Gerald in this last campaign?
Gerald.
Geralt? That was your name, right?
No.
Oh, it was Gerald? I don't remember.
Hey, what are you talking about? Which
What?
campaign?
What?
The newest, the vampire one.
Oh, I was Rob Van Dam.
Oh, yeah, you're Rob Van Dam. Right. I forgot.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess my closing thoughts is shit. Do something cool. Something cooler than us and let us know.
Tell them where to find us, everyone.
Dude, let your freak flag fly, dude. All right. You can reach us at our website, tiltednotstirred.com, or at Instagram. You can listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube.
Remember to join us to share your questions and voice your thoughts on what has you tilted, not stirred.
Later.